The Flash is one of DC's most popular superheroes, and with most popular superheroes, he has a pretty good costume. When you think of his costume, you probably think of something that a sprinter would wear, something very light and airy, also something that is flame retardant in order to prevent burning because of the friction. I think that this is really well captured in the later seasons of the CW Flash show. I think that it looks really good, even with the lower budget. The gold boots are a little goofy, but I definitely think that it is a fantastic Flash suit. And for some reason, when we have the big budget DC movie, we get this. First off, this suit is not all bad. I actually really like the logo, and I think it is really high-tech looking, and it looks like a nice ripple design, and the all gold does differentiate it from other Flash costumes. I also quite like the boots. As I mentioned previously, I don't really care for the boots on the CW. I do like that they're gold, but the boots here are metallic, and they have red slits through them, which makes them look like they could be breathable. I really like the boots on this one. They look like they could actually be made out of metal, and I think that it is a very, very nice improvement from the CW show. I also really like the texturing. I don't like how it sometimes looks very rubbery, but I do really like the ripples and the bumps throughout the suit to show different areas of the suit. I think that it looks really nice, and I really like the high-tech feel from it, and I think it could be a very nice visual distinction when the movies actually come out. Closing off this segment is the goggles. I don't really have much to say about them. I really like the goggles. I think that they are a very nice touch. I would have preferred if they were white and like you couldn't see through them, because then it would look like some of the comic Flash suits, and I think that would have been very interesting. The very first thing I noticed when I saw this suit is how muscly it was. It kind of reminds me of those 90s rubber muscle suits that you would see from goofy superhero movies. I don't like it very much. The Flash, I think, should be a bit of a skinnier dude because he is sprinting. So it doesn't really make sense for him to be the most muscular guy on the planet. Obviously, sprinters have quite a bit of muscle, but I think that the Flash specifically should be slimmer and less muscly than Superman. This one is definitely a nitpick, but I hate the fragmented belt. I don't understand why we can't just have a connected belt. They do this stuff for Spider-Man too. I just want like a belt. It's not that difficult. I mean, I will say if they had to do a fragmented one, they probably did it the best way that they could have. But why do it at all when you could just have a belt? Because like it's connected in the back. It's not just like streaks throughout here. That would have been actually pretty cool if there were lightning bolt streaks, but no. It's a really weird segmented area of the costume that does not need to be there. I'm also kind of confused on why it's pinkish. In the trailers it's not, but in this photo it is. So this could be a very easily changed nitpick if in the movie it doesn't look like this at all, but I definitely think that the trailer suit is still a bit too dark. It's kind of burgundy, which reminds me of the original CW Flash suit's colors, which I did not like very much. Lastly is the collar. This is another thing that's sometimes in the trailer, sometimes not. Because for some reason in the investor thingy that went on where all of these pictures were taken, it does not have the collar, but in this shot from the trailer it does. Now, I'm going to just say I prefer it without the collar. I do think that it would be a neat visual distinction, but I'd prefer it without. I think that it's too much noise on the suit, and I'd appreciate if it was just a nice slimmer look, but for some reason in other shots of the trailer, you can see that it isn't there. But it does kind of leave like this long neck area that doesn't really need to be there. They could break it up with something like a chin strap, but they didn't. I'll get into that later. But I guess it's just a weird visual choice. Maybe they canceled it and it's not actually going to be in the movie. Who knows? Ew! A lot of people probably didn't notice this part, and that is on the back of the head, there's this weird bulbous xenomorph thingy. It's a very interesting stylistic choice. I do not understand why they took it. Not to mention the cowl in and of itself looks like one of those cheap bike helmets that you'd see at like Walmart. I don't understand why they would make this decision for the Flash. It could so easily just have been the same material as the suit and been tight fitting and it would have looked awesome. But no, they had to go and make it a helmet and it does not look good. Not to mention they also didn't add a chin strap, which would have been so much better. I don't understand why they didn't just add a chin strap. And for some reason, the cowl has all of these weird angles throughout the mouthpiece. Like, it's so strange why they didn't just make it like a triangle, or make it like a square, or make it like an octagon, something that could very easily just show his mouth and part of his nose, but no, they had to make it all these weird wavy lines that aren't necessary. I do not understand why they would make this choice at all. I think that it is very strange, and I really wish that they would not have done this for the Cowl, and I much prefer the one from the earlier DC movies. We also have a nose bridge. The nose bridge in some shots looks pretty good, but it kind of seems like it's slipping off Ezra Miller's face. It's showing way too much of the nose at some times, and it's not showing enough at other times. I don't understand why they couldn't just get it to stay in one place. I really hope that they will fix this with CG or something when the actual movie comes out. So maybe, or maybe not, it's gonna be fixed. Who knows? I just really hope that they fix it, because it doesn't even seem like it should be that difficult of a fix, but I'm not a CGI guy, so I'm not sure. Lastly is this thingy on the wrist that kind of looks like a web shooter and a Fitbit. I do not understand why they added this. I'm sure it'll probably be explained in the movie, but assuming that it isn't, and this is actually part of the suit, because it looks like a Fitbit. They could have incorporated it into the design with like lightning bolts, but they didn't. They just made it this weird metallic web shooter looking thingy. It probably has something to do with it. It's probably from Keaton's Batman and not Batfleck. It's such a simple fix. Whatever, I guess. I'm getting way too heated over this one little part of the costume, but you guys understand, right? It does not make sense to me why they would make this stylistic choice. I mean, it's so unnecessary that I don't even think that a lightning bolt could have saved it. It probably would have been better if it was just like not there. And also he has a VR headset in his suit, so I kind of doubt that it's like reading him vitals or something, because we already see that he has a heads-up display, so there's no point in being able to read vitals on your wrist if you have a heads-up display, you know? Not to discredit the costume designers, by the way. I think that the Supergirl suit looks really good, and I think that for some reason looks way better than the Flash suit. I don't understand why they didn't just do the same thing that they did on the Supergirl suit, like, you know, make it good. And the muscles are also faint on that one, or they're way too much on the Flash suit. Don't quite understand why they did that, but whatever, man. They just made a lot of really weird choices. Alright, thanks for watching, everyone. Sorry for me ranting. I know that this was a very different video than what you guys are probably used to, but I'm glad that I was able to try something new. I'm excited to see how this video performs. If it performs well, expect more. If it doesn't, then I might still make more, because this video was a lot of fun to make. I know it's been a while. I feel like I say that every time, which I do, but we are planning on posting more consistently, so expect that, alright? Have a nice day, guys.